Hey guys, Rodney McClure, Gasket Pro Tools. This is a little how-to video. These are some sprayers that go in the tanks that are sold by. A lot of these are having issues with leaking out the end. And here's the thing about it. Anything from here forward doesn't matter. It's inert if you get down to it. It's what's in this assembly right here, the trigger valve. That's where your leaking comes from. So I'm going to disassemble this, take this end off of it. They just sent this to me today, and I told them I'd make them a video on how to repair it. These things are pretty cool. I've not seen one of these heavy duty. It's sort of like one that goes in a home and garden sprayer, just made a lot more heavy duty. That's a filter, or strainer, really what that is. Really not a filter, it's a strainer. It's got an O-ring, so don't lose your O-ring. This tip has an O-ring on it too, so we don't want to lose it. Right here is where your plunger's at. It's just a valve with some actual, I hadn't took it apart yet, but I'm gonna tell you what's wrong. It's got some shavings in there. When they machine these things from the factory or don't, or whatever they do, there's stuff that gets in there and it turns it loose. And without taking it apart and clean it first, but if you've already got one and it's doing it, this is a procedure you do. You take it apart like that. This comes off, and it has a seal down in here, and I'll pull this seal out also, where you can see down in here. There's probably going to be some shavings in this where that spring sits. Okay, this could be part of the problem here, and I hope you can see this. I just got my phone set up on a little pedestal, so I'm going to take these two pieces of plastic off of here, which is trash. I'm going to lay it right down here on this table. There's one. And here's another. Well, I done pick that one back up with my screwdriver. There we go. There's two pieces right there. I'll move all those around in a minute so you can see those. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and pull the spring out like this. And there's your plunger assembly. So what happens is, in most cases, some of this debris will get up past this and get stuck right here on this. And if this right here doesn't come up and seat this O-ring, which is right here, it seats up in this housing, it don't shut the water flow off. So it will seat by, just leak out the end. So it's not a major issue. It's aggravating, but it's not a major issue. So I'm gonna pull this apart. All right, again, I don't know if you can see down in through here or not, but I'm gonna push this stuff out. See that? Another piece. Some more. And here's the thing. A lot of folks say, well, send me another one. I'm gonna send this one back. You're gonna have the same problem with the next one and the next one and the next one. You have to have a little bit of ability to work on something. So you take it apart and do this. It's just like general maintenance stuff. I'm gonna see if there's anything on this right now that I can brush off of this that might be causing it to all right, we'll do that. I'm gonna take a towel and wipe it off. That right there is gonna be the little piece that was making that thing stay open. Just making it seep a little bit. There it is. Okay. Now down in this, I will clean this out, but in order to see that down in there, we're gonna have to take this off. So you take this off gently. What you do, you want to get this right in the center like this. That way it's not trying to lock. Twist the screwdriver, just pry it up just a little bit and get it back over. It'll go back in. It's a floating pin that's in here. You can push it out either way. So we got this off. So this is crazy. Here's another piece right there. But where the problem's going to be, where seating is down in there. But I've already pulled the piece out that was actually in there, so it's there on the table. But when I say the machining process, you see this piece right here sticking out? That's what's doing this. They're not finished up. Of course, I guess the production on these things is they try to do it so fast that it's haphazardly done, and that's that. So I'm going to take a piece of paper towel, tear it off. This is all these other pieces that's coming out of this thing. So I'm going to wrap it around this little detailing brush for keyboards. I'm going to poke it in here like this. I'm going to try my best to pull it through without tearing it. Not much on that. But there's nothing wrong with the product itself. It's just during the machining process, it don't matter if you got a filter here and a filter here. That doesn't matter. It's where this working valve's at, where that stuff gets in there at. So that's where your problem's going to be. And here's the thing: if you think about it, I'm just going to send it back. Well, that's up to you, and I'm sure they'll replace it or refund it. But the chances that you getting one that's not doing it again is the same. So if you do this one and take it apart and fix it, then the thing is you know how to fix it. And if you bought another one, you know what to do right to start with. Run a little water through it. When it leaks, take it apart. I'd recommend using it first so you can get all the stuff in there and get it out. Now I'm going to take this tip off. I don't know if it got anything in this tip or not, but sometimes it'll flush stuff on down into there, and when it does, then it'll have issues there. Nothing in there, so that's got that. Now, something that I do on these things, even on my shaping or my what the other brand is, I forget, I can't call it now. It's set up this way. I stretch the spring a little bit, which gives you more seat pressure. That way, you don't have to worry about it not closing off at any given time. So I recommend doing this also when you take it apart, if you take it apart or whatever. Here's the thing: you need your well-lit spot and a bright background so you don't lose the tool. Now, to show you how much I'm going to stretch it, I'm going to mark this and this. Now, you don't need to stretch it much because a little goes a long ways when it comes to springs. Push this in as far as it'll go up in there, the needle knows it, and grip it pretty tight because you're going to tug on it. It's a pretty strong spring. So I'm going to push that all the way down there like this so it doesn't get away from me. Now I'm going to stretch it just ever so slightly. You'll see that piece that came out of the spring, that would be back in there. All right, now I'm going to mark this again. We only stretched it about a half a coil. This is the one we stretched. This was before. And then after. All right, now we're ready to put it back together. I've got some silicone grease over here. I'm rubbing some on it now, and then that way it slides up in there. Then that goes back in. Your spring goes back down on the locating pin. You make sure you have this green seal, and the way the seal goes, the tapers up so your spring seats in it. So I'm going to put this down in this cap right here, just like this. And I'm going to take, you don't want to cut the seal. I take something and go all the way around the edge until it's seated flat in there. Now, it's going to be a little harder to get this thing up on it, and don't cross thread it, just get it started. Pushing just even pressure. If it feels like it's trying to cross thread on you, just back up. Set it like this. Well, I didn't want to edit this video, but fumble finger, I might. Nah, I'm not going to do that. We'll just keep it real. Life is not perfect, but if you really look at it, it is beautiful, period. Not up for debate, just my opinion. But this is what's causing you those issues. All this stuff right here. The smallest one of those things can get caught between that O-ring and make it do what it's doing. Now, to put this back together, I slide this pin all the way over like this. Slide that side in, then rock it over just like that. Then I'm gonna push that pin back through. Now your pin's in there even. And you can feel it has more tension on it. And you know, some people would think, oh, that trigger's locking on it, it's making it do that. That's got nothing to do with it. When you do this thing, if you don't put your thumb way up here to operate it, if you just push it back here on the end, it works fine. So that is how you repair this, and it works on the Chapin ones, and I can't think of the other name of the other sprayers that's made this way. But you'll notice they got the thumb valve. It's really good design. And this is the first time I've had my hands on this one. These are pretty nice spray nozzles. I would probably put a end on this plastic with a fan tip just for myself, but you know, who cares? It works. That goes back in there. So you got a nice strainer going in. You got this here, you can put a filter right here in the end, and it's repaired. So if you've got one of these, you bought it somewhere else, if you got these from Dragon Distributing, from 1010 Tools, the Vogler guys, they're going to accommodate you. I'm making this for them because they're just dang good people. But the thing is, it's repaired now, and it'll work. I fixed several of them, and that's what it takes to do it. And you can fix it cheaper than you can, I don't know, I say cheaper. Help you send it back, and they send you another, and I don't know what their policy is. That's one thing. But if you get another that does the same thing, then you're going to be disgruntled. But I've just showed you how to do it, and you'll be a happy customer, and you'll know how to fix something from there on out. So just another tip from the old film bender, Rodney McClure at Gasket Pro Tools. I hope this helps you. We're going to start doing some segments like this and try to make this stuff work out for you where we can help you. Because when we build our industry up as a whole, it adds value to everything we do. Anyway, I'll quit preaching. Thank you guys. Have a great day.